Alright, what's going on, guys? Jeff here back again with another video. So right now, it is the 26th of January 2022, about 3 a.m. in Singapore. So basically, we're still on the 25th of January trading day in the US. And I just wanted to share some thoughts before the FOMC meeting actually starts. Okay, well, actually, the FOMC meeting already started. It's just that Jerome Powell is going to come out to actually give a statement about the entire FOMC meeting tomorrow at about 3 a.m. Singapore time. And yeah, because of that, there are some things that I actually want to address. So probably you guys will be seeing two videos by me today. I'm not sure which should be uploaded first, but anyway, let's talk about the Federal Reserve and why do they want to increase rate hikes and such. Okay, I think that this is going to be something quite important for people who do not understand why the Federal Reserve want to increase rates and such. All right, so first of all, I'm pretty sure that people understand that the Federal Reserve only have three conditions on how they are basically doing their job. Okay, the Federal Reserve only got three things in their to-do list, basically for them to actually maintain whatever they're doing. First of all, they want to get max employment. Okay. Secondly, they want to get stable prices, aka low to moderate inflation. Okay. Thirdly, and also lastly, they will want reasonable long-term interest rates. Okay, so let's just put ourselves into this negative Nancy shoes where we see that the Fed basically says that tomorrow Jerome Powell basically comes out. All right, guys, we have completely stopped tapering and we are going to be increasing interest rates immediately, and we're going to be increasing it by 50 basis point, aka 0.5%, every single time we increase the rates. And let's just say we're going to increase it three times, okay? Nothing crazy, 1.5%. And basically, that's what Jerome Powell is going to say. And personally, I feel that because this is the current fear in the market where people are basically trying to get this priced into the market, saying that this is basically the fear right now, which is why the market is going down. Of course, the market is kind of recovering right now, but in the past few days, we have basically been seeing the market go down. And right now, let's get into the scenario of it, okay? If I am the Federal Reserve and I want the max employment, chances are I'm not going to be increasing by 50 basis points, let alone ending the taper immediately and then raising the rates. Because if I were to do that, basically what happens is that businesses have a higher interest rates. Everyone basically have higher interest rates as well, be it your home loan, your house loan, your car loan, your student loan, whatever it is, you are going to have higher rates for all of those as well. And because the thing is that when that actually happened, I feel that the first entity to get destroyed would probably be the businesses, because now they cannot get cheap money, and usually this so-called cheap money is entered into four various different categories. The first one is the most basic of them all, which are cash burns, which is your employee salary, your employees stock option, stock compensation. The second one will be marketing. The third one would be R&D, and the fourth one would be for investing. Okay, of course, I understand that the first two that come to mind would most likely be your growth of the company, which is your R&D, followed by the investing part, which most likely they're going to be investing in bonds anyway, which I think that the bond yield would most likely be going up. So not that big of an issue. And thirdly would most likely be the marketing part of things, because that's basically connected to the whole growth part of the company. And then lastly will be the cash burns, which is basically the employee salary, the employee stock option and compensation and such. So I feel that if this actually happened, and of course we are talking about this whole era where this whole great resignation does not exist, okay? That means that companies will basically be like, okay, you know what, we don't have enough money, we should cut on our cash burns. And because of that, let's cut on employees. Let's cut on the inefficiency of our current working rate. Okay, let's just say my factory have 20 people working, and I feel that I can work with 18. Two of them, I'm sorry, you gotta go. Okay, because now that I have higher cash burns, let's lower my cash burns if I can. And because of that, I think max employment is going to be affected. Of course, this is very, very minor, so I don't think that's going to be that big of an issue. But I think ultimately the Fed still want max employment, and I don't think doing something like this would really be the most beneficial. Secondly, the Federal Reserve wants stable pricing, aka low to moderate inflation. So the keyword here is not low to moderate, but inflation. So in the scenario where we actually say that Jerome Powell basically come out to say, all right, guys, we are going to be ending the taper. And after we end the taper, we are going to be increasing by 50 basis points for 3 times in 2022. Hence, we're going to be ending 2022 at 1.5%. Okay, if this actually happens, basically, we will not be worrying about inflation. We'll be worried about deflation, okay? Not inflation, not disinflation, but deflation. Okay, so the worry about deflation is basically if we suddenly have 1.5% increase by the end of 2022, what happens here is that people start to spend lesser money because, like I said in the previous example, where the company, your business entities, your individual, normal people like you and I, we are the ones that basically have to take the brunt of this entire interest rate hikes. And then people who are actually cash heavy will decide to go, you know what, I don't want to go cash heavy because I think that it's better for me to kind of just pay off all my debt, be it my house loan, my car loan, my student loan, whatever it is. It's better for me to pay those off first and then hold whatever cash I have left before I do my other investments. And because of that, I have lesser cash on hand, and when I have lesser cash on hand, my purchasing power for regular things kind of go down, okay? And when all these things go down, it means your food is going to go down, your car prices is going to go down, your energy prices are going to go down, your clothes prices are going to go down. Basically, all these are all from your CPI, okay? The consumer price index items, all of them are going to show deflationary trends. Not disinflationary trends, but deflationary trends. So instead of us suddenly saying, oh, we're going to have a 0.2% increase in the food section, which is considerably better than what we're actually having right now, we would actually be saying negative 0.8%. Okay, for apparels, we might see negative 3%. For cars, we might see negative 3%. For energy prices, we might see negative 0.8%. Things of that nature. And suddenly, our CPI result for the next subsequent few months is going to be deflationary trends continue. And then we have negative 1% for the month of September or whatever it is. Okay. And when that actually happens, we are not getting a moderate and also low inflation. We are starting to go towards deflationary. And now what happens is if you actually continue for the next 5 to 6 months of that, now we have a deflationary environment. And that's not what the Fed wants. Okay. When you have a deflationary trend, basically we are going back in time. We do not want that. Okay. We want to go forward in time. And because of that, most of the time we want inflation. It's just that we need to control the inflation because right now 7% year over year, that's not moderate, okay? That's insane. So we want to get that back down to about 2%, maybe 2.5%, we're all right with it, but 2%, that's the nice part, okay? 7%, no, we don't want that, okay? So right now, I feel that the Fed basically do not want to go through all that. So now, thirdly, it'll be reasonable long-term interest rates. Okay, so for this one, I actually have a chart for you guys. So long-term interest rates. So this one is actually the interest rates for US for the past forever. Okay, I don't need to look so far away. Let's look at just from the year 2000 on. Okay, so from the year 2000 on, the interest rate was actually 6%. Okay, and then it went down all the way. So over here, this was, if I'm not mistaken, this drop was from the gold rush. Okay, so it kind of went all the way down, and we kind of saw 0.75%. That was the lowest of the low in the 2000. Oh wait, hold on. This was the dot-com bubble. It's not the gold rush. Yeah, this was the dot-com bubble. Okay, the dot-com bubble. The gold rush was the 1990s. So this was the dot-com bubble where we suddenly see this sudden drop over here. And because of this, we couldn't really recover that quickly. But it was actually quite shocking, because immediately after, you can see over here, okay, look over here, from 0.75%, we immediately jumped to 2.25%. Okay, so this is what I mean. Okay, this is what I mean. A sudden increase. This only took 1 month, basically 1 to 2 months. Okay, 1 quarter. Okay, this took 1 quarter to go up to 2.25%. From 0.75%. That's a 1.5% increase. This was a 150 basis point increment. That's how crazy it is, okay? And then afterwards, they thought, okay, you know what? We need to calm down a little bit. And then it went back down to 2%. And then we started to ride the wave up to the '08. And I'm pretty sure we all know what happened in the '08. If you do not know what happened in the '08, just go and watch The Big Short. I've watched it a few times, a lot of times. But it's very, very interesting, and it helps you visually understand the entire '08 situation a lot better. Of course, not 100% of them is true. I'm pretty sure they added some for more dramatic effect. But you get the gist of it. You can just watch The Big Short. Okay, but anyway, you see that this suddenly dropped. So over here, '08, okay? We all know what happened in the '08 financial crisis, okay? It went all the way down to basically 0.5%. And the funny thing is, it took us super duper long, okay? Look at this. From 2009, okay, basically the start of 2009, all the way till 2015, the end of 2015, for us to basically even hit 1%. It took us over 7 years for us to hit that 1%. And it simply means that the '08 crisis was just that crazy, to the point where it really affected a lot of families. I'm pretty sure a lot of families, a lot of businesses, and I would say not just in the US, because it was in Singapore, it was in the Philippines, it was in Indonesia, it was in every country that had a financial system. Everyone was being affected because it was a bubble-like system, a bubble-like environment. We all studied about that before, and because of that, it took such a long time for us to actually do the recovery. And then the funny thing is over here, okay, this is where it kind of get funky for us, okay. So over here you can see from the 2016 moment onwards, we see a step ladder movement increment. Okay, so this step ladder increment is basically what we are expecting in 2022. This is what the Federal Reserve actually intended back in the December FOMC dot plot. Okay, they expected 3 rate hikes, so we're going to be 0.25, 0.25, 0.25, and then we rest a little bit. And next year, 0.25, 0.25, 0.25, 0.25. This is what the Federal Reserve actually wanted to do for 2022 and also subsequently 2023. So the thing is that right now, you can basically see going up, going up, going up. Of course, this sudden down here, I'm pretty sure if you're watching this video, chances are you already know what this dip is. This is the March 2020 pandemic dip. And here we are at basically 0%. Okay, so now that we are all caught up with how the interest rates basically move, same thing. Let's go back to the go-to scenario where Jerome Powell came out to say, all right, guys, we are going to completely stop the taper now and we are going to raise interest rates. If they actually do something like that, what we'll actually see will not be what we actually saw in the whole 2018, 2019, where we actually had a small step ladder going up every single year, every single quarter, and then we suddenly see that, okay, we have like a quarter of rest, and then suddenly we start having the whole step ladder movement upwards again. So if we actually have something like that, it will be all right. But let's just say we say that the Federal Reserve suddenly wanted to go hawkish, okay? They want to say we are going to be increasing by 50 basis points. This is not what we're going to be seeing. Because what we'll be seeing is a step ladder that's so huge that we're going to go 50 basis point, 50 basis point, 50 basis point for 2022. And then in 2023, they'll be like, okay, let's go let's go 25 basis point. And then afterwards, they'll be like, okay, the market is not exactly booming. The market is not exactly taking all this in. Businesses are not doing so well. Tech companies are not really innovating as much. and real estate prices are now actually going up. We are not seeing the usual growth that we are expecting of a US economy. Maybe the rates are just too high. Maybe the rates are just too high. And then we kind of come back down and say, what is a good amount of rates, for example, for us to actually stay in a stable? So personally, from the graph that you actually saw as well, it'll be 3 to 6%. 3 to 6% is so-called the safe region. So if you want to hit 3 to 6%, if you are getting 1.5% in 2022, let's just say 3% in 2023 and 4.5% in 2024, what gives? When do we actually start to say, oh, hold on, this is not working out, we need to start to go back down again? But why are we going down? For example, if the businesses are doing well, there's no reason for you to go down. If the businesses are doing bad, why are you even so high? So either way, the Fed don't win by increasing the basis points so quickly. So the reason why all these analysts are talking about how this 50 basis points, 75 basis points, 100 basis points, I don't think those are going to happen. But of course, I'm not going to say that it's impossible, because it did happen and I showed you guys on the graph. But I feel that right now, it just doesn't really make sense for the Federal Reserve to kind of do that. And of course, this kind of brings forth another point as well, which is that, for example, if the Federal Reserve basically tomorrow rug pull the market, they will kind of just lose all credibility. Think about it this way: Jerome Powell just got renominated like about 2-3 months ago, after Biden let him come back, let him get renominated, and then he suddenly said, "Okay, guys, inflation. We are going to retire the term inflation." And then immediately the month after, we are having persisting inflation, and then a new adaptation of a new word. Okay, no more transitory, we're going to persisting. And this sudden change already have a lot of backlash from the investors in general. If right now, if Jerome Powell basically just come out and just say, all right, guys, we're going to stop the taper and then we're going to increase the rates, this is going to destroy the market, because everyone's not going to believe Jerome Powell anymore. Because Jerome Powell said clearly, and on multiple occasions as well, he said very, very clearly, we are going to increase the rates only when the taper finishes. And of course, we are already expecting the taper to finish on March. So we're not expecting any sort of rate hikes to happen tomorrow. However, of course, Jerome Powell can just say, we realize that we have to do so. So we're gonna cut short the taper. We're gonna end it tomorrow, and then on February we're gonna raise the hike. We're gonna raise the rates. Yep, that's what we're gonna do. And I think if that happens, basically there are good and bad. Of course, there is always good and bad to this kind of thing. Okay, the bad, well, we all know Jerome Powell loses credibility. Whatever happens in the FOMC in the future, people will basically ignore, which also conveniently is the good part of things. The advantage of Jerome Powell basically rug pulling the market, we get a one-time pain in the market, and afterwards, we don't have to care what Jerome Powell said in the market afterwards. In next FOMC, if you want to raise rates, no one have to care, because whatever he says don't bring any sort of weight anymore, and he can safely just do his own job. Basically, he can just do his own job, because, like I said, the Federal Reserve only got 3 roles, 3 things that they have to complete, basically. And right now, the market is kind of weighing in what Jerome Powell is doing, what Janet Yellen thinks, what Brainard thinks, and we are not supposed to feel that way. But right now, that's kind of how the market sentiment is going. We're just looking at various catalysts, fear catalysts, if you may, for all these little things, and then we just price into the market accordingly. But yeah, I mean, these are just basically my thoughts. And I will be uploading all this for you guys. If you guys are interested in my thoughts on what is going to happen tomorrow. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to be uploading the whole review on the what Jerome Powell actually say at 3 on Thursday. But anyway, that's all I have for this video. Stay tuned for my 5 cryptocurrency video as well. I'm not sure if it's going to be uploaded before this or after this. But anyway, there should be 2 videos uploaded today. Anyway, thank you guys for watching.